What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good? What's good?
Bro, we got another show in the morning.
Yeah.
This is like back-to-back morning shows.
Same time, right?
Low key.
Friday was scheduled for
10 o'clock.
10.
Because that's like
We
our...
started at 10:15.
But...
This time we're on time. Learn from my mistakes. I didn't see comfort. Use it as a learning lesson.
Salute my dog. Salute my dog. I wasn't even on it. I love it though. My dog said, look, I learned. I'm here. I'm in the building. We was on time. It was funny too because I was over here like, yo, because I'm traveling today. Of course, Deke, I packed ahead of time, but you know how it is. Because it's the day I'm actually supposed to be leaving, you're looking at all the little odds it is. So I'm upstairs piddling around. I've already packed my bag. I was about to text you, hey, bro, I might need 5.
Ooh.
Because I literally just kept staring at my bag like, yo, am I forgetting something? Or do I need to add something? Or do I want to switch up something? Because it's kind of like this weird dynamic, right? For those that don't know, heading over to the Combine today. I'll be out there all week for, my official Steelers duties, doing my Steelers radio show and stuff like that. But with that, it's like, it's kind of like an all-star situation. You know what I'm saying? When you go out there, it's like, oh, NFL got 3 big events: Combine, Draft, Super Bowl. So when you show up, it's like
The who's who of people are going to be there.
Yeah, so you feel like you're not nervous, but it's like an excited, like, yo, I want to make sure I'm clean.
You got to represent.
Yeah, come on, man. It's the brand. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, does this polo, do I really like that polo? Or should I go with this polo? And is that polo with these pants, is that doing it too much? Or is that not enough? So I was doing that thing, bro. Yeah, man. I'm glad you run the door when you did, though, because it just kind of was like, all right, you ain't got time for that now. You got to go. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, just do it after.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you. Hopefully not. I'm hoping that
you ready?
when I go back up, I'm just good to go when I'm ready to roll, bro. That's what I'm hoping. Because I'm excited.
The decisions are finalized. No more second guessing.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. But
go with what's in the bag.
But I feel like, this is one of the ones where it could very easily turn into I'm supposed to be there at this time. And now we cutting it close because I'm playing around upstairs trying to figure out my outfits, bro.
Yeah. Well, Speaking of outfits, I'm going to play the role of you today.
Ooh.
And say nice kicks.
Salute you, man.
Those are the new ones, right?
Yes, the bread reimagined. Yeah, the Jordan 4.
So I wanted to ask you. You just have the OG breads, right?
No. I just have the I have the
Bread
reimagined. Yeah, I don't have the OG, the suede ones. No, I passed them.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. I was going to ask you which ones you like better.
No, so put it like this, man. In terms of nostalgia, the suede, because that was obviously what Jordan wore. But in terms of the look, I love the new look on the reimagined because it's kind of like the pine green Jordan 4s that came out last year, the SB ones that everybody went crazy over. They used that type of model, but with the OG colorway. So it's like that perfect blend of new and OG. But
those would probably be really nice for the white ones.
Oh yeah,
like that type of leather.
Oh, they had them up in the green, but it's like, man, I just love the Jordan 4. Period. So it's like, man, when you give me this and it's the leather, so for me, I'm kind of in this weird phase of, it's a lot easier to clean when it's leather versus the suede. So I wear these a lot.
Mine are beat up.
Yeah, I wear these a lot more frequently, bro, because it's leather.
I have the suede. Yeah. They're beat up. I think even like the pull tabs on the back are broken off.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's unfortunate.
With the suede shoes, like, they wear harder, I feel like, whereas with the leather, and it's like that nice, like, tumbled leather, so it's kind of like softer, buttery feel on it. It just lasts longer. It's easier to maintain upkeep. So that's the other part where I'm like, you know what? I like these, man. Yeah. But the problem is, my little man, he's in the sneakerhead phase of anything that I get now, he wants to get. So, of course, I've worn these a couple of times, took him on a trip, and he's like, every time I put them on, hey, Dad, I like those. Hey, Dad, did you know that I like those shoes that you got right there? Dad, you know we could twin.
You didn't get them these?
No, because I had got these early for myself when they had came out. And it's just, I was like, man, you get what you get. But now he's been like hounding me, and he's like, Dad, we record too. We do the videos. So, and I'm just like, I see what you're doing. So we will see. I'm trying to hold off. We will see, though. Well, listen, his foot grow too fast, man.
What?
His foot grows too fast.
Oh, yeah. I get you now. Okay.
Literally every 6 months,
that makes sense. Yeah, you don't
every 6 months, man.
You want to wait till maybe he gets in high school or something.
And his foot is big enough that he wears, like, the legit size. Yeah.
Yeah, so it pains you
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
copping them all these dope shoes,
Look,
and then
I
within
don't
months
mind
they're
spending $220 on me
too
when I know
small.
this $220 gonna last me for the next 5 years. Shoot, I'll spend
you tell him that?
500. Yes, I have. And he's like, Dad, you do YouTube. It's okay. I'm like, you are sick, bro. Yes. That's
So
what
he
told
didn't
me.
even mention that you're a former NFL
No,
player. He's like,
He's like,
you do YouTube.
Because he thinks YouTube.
That's how you make all the
He
bang.
thinks YouTube makes way more. But I'm like, bro, YouTube, no, bro. I'm like, yo, YouTube is like, this is fun. Like, this ain't like that. Yeah, but to him, he's like, yo, you do YouTube. And because he watches everybody on YouTube and they all got like the big money and stuff. He's like, yeah. He's like, when you gonna
He
get
thinks
your
you're Mr. Beast.
bro? He asked me all the time, when are you gonna get your plaque? You know the little gold. He's like, are you gonna get one of them gold buttons? I'm like, we ain't really worried about that type of stuff, son. We're just focused on us right now. Yeah. But he thinks like, yo, YouTube is like, NFL is cooler. He thinks NFL is way cooler, but he thinks the YouTube pays way more, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because I'm like, yeah, dude, it's kind of opposite. YouTube is actually like more popular where I'm at right now. Not playing football anymore, but yeah, the NFL money.
Right, former
yeah.
player doing a podcast?
Yeah.
It's all the rage.
Yeah. I was like, yo.
Although, you were before a lot of these guys.
This is also true. We're going on, this week coming up on year 6. Yeah, because I just finished up my 5th year. No, 5 of us. Year 6 me being retired is what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, it's stacking years up, man. So yeah, we definitely was on podcasts and all that beforehand, but like I said, everybody owes it to Deke. Deke was the one who talked us into any of this. I was anti all this podcast. I would tell you anti. Deke, we start a podcast after that podcast, bro. I would do no podcast, bro. Podcast for people that can't do radio. I do radio, Deke. No, man, you gotta do this podcast. It's fire.
You know what? I didn't sell you too hard on it though. I was just like, I'm capable of doing it.
Yeah, he's like, just try it.
Why not? Like, I got time. Let's just do it.
Yeah, he's like, yo, just try
and
it.
And then it was fun. So I think that's why you stuck with it, right?
And of course,
I guess I was decent enough to talk.
But
to
then the irony of it all, the one trial episode that we did has zero to do with what we do when we do our show.
Yeah, we talked about music and Avengers.
Like, that's the craziest thing. But that one little episode was what sparked where we are now.
Right.
Craziness, bro. Craziness. But shout out to you, though, man. Like I said, it's all Deke's fault. If it weren't for Deke, it would never be done this podcast. So I'm telling you now, I was anti. Like, you hear some of the radio heads now, because he kept with the radio era. It was like, yo, it took a lot to get that seat. You be like, no, I don't want to do that podcast. I'm going to the studio. I don't care. I don't care how inconvenient it is. I'm driving to the studio. I want to be in there. Yeah. Checking in, buzzing all the time. You're like, bro, for what? You can do this right here in the crib. Shout out to Deke, man. Shout out to Deke, bro.
Yeah, sometimes that's the funniest stuff, you know, because people ask me, you know, how'd you start the podcast? How'd you link with Moats and stuff? Well, I linked with you through a friend, but it's funny, like, you didn't even want to really do the podcast. Yeah. I mean, it is funny.
That's what it was, bro. Yeah. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to do that, bro.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember, because you weren't even the first person to bring up podcasts to me. And I was just so anti-podcast.
Yeah, you were hesitant.
Yeah, I was
very
I
hesitant.
don't want no parts of that, bro.
I was just like, what do you think about starting a podcast and just like fleshing this out a little bit more? Because you were doing the Instagram videos.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm capable of producing it.
Yeah.
I could do it for you. And we were just thinking audio to begin with. And I wasn't even looking for a role. I was just like, dude, I'll be a sounding board or something for you.
Like, I'll be on the back.
You could just talk.
Yeah.
But then I guess you saw something in me. You wanted to include me in the fold.
Hey, man. You know what? You saw something and I saw something and it just worked. All right. And now here we are. We cooking them. We at them. We getting it to them early in the morning. We give it to them at the nighttime. We give it to them anytime. But they love it. So we appreciate y'all. But like I said, everybody, we appreciate Deke, all right? Because Deke is definitely the reason why we even got this thing started off and why we grow the way that we grow, man. So salute the homie. Hit that like button for the homie too, man. Nah, man, because like I said.
You got to give yourself props.
Hey. I'm one of those dudes I always tell people,
it's not possible without you either.
I'm not big on creating like a new vision, but I am a guy that once you show me the lane, I'm going to drive. I'm going to go ahead and make my own way in it. So it's like, you showed the way. Now it's like, all right, cool. Let's go make some elbow room. Let's, you know what I mean? That's where I look at that part. But it's like, I don't create the lane. But it's like, if you show me the lane, oh yeah, we going to cook. We can make it happen. And that's just a good tag team. Because you be seeing it.
Since I brought up Player Podcast, can I just say something real quick? It's getting ridiculous. I'm sorry. With all due respect.
Who's the new one now?
Well, dude, I saw the St. Brown brothers.
Like, everybody has one, bro.
They're trying to play off of the Kelsey brothers. I saw this NBA one where it's like, some dude I've never even heard of, and I think Josh Hart. I'm like, just give me a break with some of this.
Everybody has one. And they're all in the phase of, I got to tell this crazy, sexy stories.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's
say the
fun.
crazy story or say Paul George is the GOAT or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. It's fun. So, it's serving the purpose, but yeah, it is heavily, heavily saturated right now.
I'm probably coming off as a hater.
With that. No. You're not a hater. You're just a guy who's been in the industry longer. You sound like the radio people
Don't say
sound.
that.
Think about this, right? The radio people, when podcasts started, the radio people looked at podcasts the same way. They're like, bro, what is this? Y'all haven't earned anything. What are y'all even doing? You're just create. Nothing's really sustainable with this model. And then the radio people look at the radio people like, oh man, y'all grouch, y'all old man, like let us live. But then you think about how many podcasts fail. But then when you get the ones that do hit, then you're like, nah, see, told you, bro, this what it's on right here. So yeah, it's like, yo, a lot of them started it. So it's like, yo, I hope y'all sustain it, man. Keep it going. But as me and you both know, it's gonna take a lot more than just a sexy story on occasion if you wanted to stay popping and keep it going for the duration. So like I said, man, I wish them all the best though, bro. It do be funny though. It is funny because I'm with you. Every time you're like, yo, I didn't even know they had a podcast. Salute them though.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come off as hating.
Nah, you ain't hating, bro. Nah.
Live your life, but it's just the trend right now.
Yeah, it's heavily saturated right now. It's like, yo, start a podcast. If you play any sport, start a podcast.
It's not even former players anymore. It's current players.
If you play a sport, start a podcast. Yeah, everybody's a media company now. I'm like, all right.
So how about this?
What's
it's gonna be the last show for Black History Month.
And I was real strategic. We could have waited and tried to do this last one show randomly, the end of the week, next week, over the week. And it was like, no. We still got an extra day in here. So I appreciate you. You know what I mean? On this beautiful Black History Month final episode of the Black History Month, even with the bonus day.
I think I got a good fact here.
All right, here we go.
I haven't really filtered through this article, so I'll try to read the story as best I can.
I like the fact it's in black and white,
but
it looks solid.
Yeah, the headline piqued my interest.
Yeah, it looks solid.
The black explorer who may have reached the North Pole first.
Talk about him.
In 1909, African-American Matthew Henson trekked with explorer Robert Peary, reaching what they claim was the North Pole. But who got there first?
Ooh.
How about that?
Ooh. I think Matthew got there first. How about that? His toe got there first. I feel like he won.
So this is like a Neil Armstrong type of thing?
Yeah. Who got off the ship first, man?
Because they were traveling together, but who touched down
first?
So here's the story. When Commander...
it is funny. That does matter, though. Who touched first? Yeah.
When Commander Robert Peary, so I think that's the white guy, ordered his... who's the... Matthew Alexander
I'm glad that
Henson.
you said it, bro. I'm just glad. As long as you said we can make it work. You know what I mean? He's a good balance this way.
Yeah, Matthew Henson and Robert Peary. So Commander Robert Peary ordered his team to make camp on April 6, 1909. He was not entirely certain that he had reached his objective. On his final expedition to the North Pole, the challenges of Arctic exploration were exacerbated by the complexities of terrestrial navigation.
Huh.
I don't know what all that means. Through history...
Terrestrial navigation is like the old school version of like how they would navigate, like the compass and the map and all that stuff. Yeah.
So they got to the North Pole, but didn't know they were there?
Huh.
Is that what that means?
That's what it sounds like. But back then, man, when they would explore places, sometimes like they would stumble across like new places because they thought they were one place, but they were actually somewhere different. Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're talking about. History initially gave credit to Peary for being the first person to reach Earth's northernmost point. One invaluable member of Peary's party was long overlooked in the record books. A black explorer from Baltimore named Matthew Alexander Henson.
He from Beemore, shorty. No, it's two of them over there. Oh, man, shout out to my Beemore people in the building, man. Let's ride.
Exhausted from weeks of travel across the stark expanse of the polar ice cap, Peary had struggled to recover after the shock of plunging into frigid open water of a sudden fissure of the day before. Undaunted, the team that included 4 Inuit hunters named Okuya, Uta, Ingwa, and Siglu pressed forward. Henson also fallen in. All right, so this is...
So they in the water now. It's getting dangerous.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty dangerous, bro.
Henson's memoir. He says, faithful old Uta grabbed me by the nape of the neck, the same as he would have grabbed a dog. And with one hand, he pulled me out of the water, and with the other, hurried the team across. All right, so I need to figure out this story.
Yeah, who touched down first?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because it's getting dicey. I thought we was about to lose a member. Man said, yo, he fell in the water. Then he fell in the water. Then he got him by the nape of the neck. Like, you know how bad that got hurt? Nigga grab by the nape of the neck.
Okay, all right.
Here we go.
I think this gets us to where we
right.
need to be.
Let's cook.
This is from Henson. I believe one of his memoirs as well. When the compass started to go crazy, I sat down to wait for Mr. Perry. He arrived about 45 minutes later, and we prepared to wait for the dawn to check our exact positions. The next morning, when the positions had been verified, Perry said, "Matt, we've reached the North Pole at last." So this is a big fast forward from when they were in the water. But
yeah.
obviously, they hit a point where they were like, "We're here."
And he said, "Who?"
Henson was the guy waiting for Perry.
So Henson won then, or not won, but Henson touched the first then. He touched the North Pole first. That's what that sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Because if I'm standing here, you're lost, and you walk over here to me, and you're like, "Oh, this is North Pole." And I'm like, "Well, I was already here 2 minutes before you came over here." That means that I was here first. But that is some janky history, though, if you think about it, right? Why would?
So
how does if he's standing there first? How is he not considered the guy?
Is it?
That's the jankiness.
Is it almost like Henson was the guy leading the troops?
Yeah,
like
he's like,
the captain or
I'm
the
getting
general.
this credit.
Right.
Okay, it's my expedition. It's my funds. I get credit. I don't care if you standing there first. That's
it's
what
like he's
said,
the
bro.
head coach versus
Yeah.
Henson being a coordinator, I guess.
Yeah.
And
or maybe in a position coach, because they said he's like overlooked. Yeah, he's just a part of the organization.
Something like that.
They kind of stumbled across that.
Even if it's like, the coordinator, the position coach calling that final play, dialing it up perfectly, the coach is going to get credit if you win the game, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get more credit. That's probably what's happening.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. I like it, though.
There you go.
Hey, bro, shout out to the North Pole.
There's a lot more here. I mean, there's a lot more you could read about. I didn't think this article was that long.
Well, I saw somebody else, man. They were kind of talking about, I think they said the Terra Nova out there also is like a documentary on some of this stuff. Oh, yeah. Reality. No, it's reality. He says Arctic exploration was hardcore. Look up Terra Nova if you want a great 3-hour documentary on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is some validity to some of that, when you talk about just the craziness of it. Yeah, Mike, their GPS was broke. They should have had Apple. If they had them iPhones, it would have been good. Now, if they had AT&T service, yeah, you know how that can get. A couple days ago, everybody was down bad, all right? But they made it, all right? So shout out to Matthew. And where was Lewis and Clark doing this whole thing? I thought they was the only explorers I knew about growing up. Lewis and the homie Clark, okay? Right. Yeah, I was trying to find them. I guess they didn't want none of that. It was too cold for them over there. I ain't tripping. And then Christopher Columbus, he a boat guy, so we ain't tripping on that either. I respect it. All right. So, dude, I like that though, man. That's like, that's how you come in and you set the tone, bro.
I still got. Is this 29-day February or 28?
This is 29-day February.
29. So
it's a special month. Yeah.
3 more days to watch Coming to America on Friday?
I believe in you, bro. We ain't got no shows after the day. All right. This is the only show of the week, ladies and gents. Like I said, I got to go work. I got to be all buttoned up. Sit next to the higher ups and try not to get in trouble. Okay. You know how hard it is to be on my best behavior for multiple days in a row, Deke? This is a lot of pressure, okay? A lot of pressure. But we're going to have a good one today. Like I said, all right? So.
Yeah, don't get us any tampering charges or anything, meeting up with Cousins and his crew.
Chill out, man. Chill out. All right, I'm trying to find Russ. You seen Russ at the interview. I like new haircut Russ. I'm just throwing it out there. New buzz cut Russ.
He had the ice, too.
You seen the Rollie?
Yeah.
He's talking to me. I broke mine, though, because you see, I ain't as rich as him. That's why I put the diamonds in mine. When you rich like him, you ain't got to put diamonds in it. You just show up. You feel me? So shout out to Russ. But I like buzz cut, plain Jane Rollie Russ. Like that Russ.
He said, I want 2 in the next 5 years.
Listen, I didn't even care what he said. When I seen the buzz cut, I said, I believe. He just looked the part. That the cut he had in Denver, I'm like, bro, you a model. You trying to be pretty. I ain't hating it, but that's a pretty look. That buzz cut, that's like, bro, I'm fresh out of boot camp. I'm fresh out the trenches. Like, bro, I'm hungry. I ain't seen him hungry in a minute. That look hungry to me, bro. And a hungry dude like that, I get excited for. I also think that it does potentially lead us to a scenario where if he does get released by Denver, that I do think he would take a little less. I'm not saying he's going for no minimum nonsense. Definitely not
You're saying
that.
the buzz cut gives
But
you
I
that
think,
vibe.
but yes, I do feel like he'll be more willing to take less because of the buzz cut. Bro, that fresh cut take upkeep, man. You got to get that done 2-3 days. Get quarterback got the helmet and taking the helmet off. You can't come with the bad hair in the interview. So I'm telling you, bro, that was a process, man. Maybe that's why he wanted as nice, because he was worried about getting the hair, the comb back. It was like the Bruno Mars. It was good, but you wore a helmet, so it's distracted him. That buzz cut, he's like, bro, I don't care about nothing about football. He's like, yo, wifey, Sierra, go sing, go pop, lock, dance, do all the thing with the kids, but it's go time. I'm going to show you why you like me. I'm going to show you why when we play Future in the club, we can still stand in here and be like, no, we still nice, all right? That's that buzz cut. That's what that look was, bro. So I was sold. I'm like, yep, that's the one. That's the one I want right there. Period. I don't want Kirk. I don't want Fields. That's the one.
So you think Prime Russ is back?
I'm not saying Prime Russ, but I think he's closer to the Seattle Russ than we would see Denver Russ with the buzz cut. Yes, I do feel like that. Because, bro, it just looked like he tired of the nonsense. Like that buzz cut, bro. The buzz
cut. He's
cut.
trying to tell you I got sabotaged.
Yeah, he's looking
These
like,
2 years
he's like,
in
bro,
Denver.
I'm not trying to be pretty no more. I don't care about what I'm supposed to say or not supposed to say. I'm looking you straight up and I'm telling you what it is. Shout out to Brandon Marshall. Also, another podcast OG though, right? he was doing it before us. You know what I mean? So it's like, you even see how he sets it up, but you get that safe space like that, man. So shout out to B Marshall for that platform right there, man. But yeah, bro, like that version of Russ, I'm like, I ain't seen that Russ in a minute, man. The rest that I be seeing be looking Hollywood. It looked like it's supposed. It's let me do everything right. Let me just say everything right. And eventually, I'm sure as a player, you be like, bro, act like you a narc or something, bro. You undercover? Like, what's up with you, man? Like, I need something on you, bro. Give me a little. You feel me? But man, put that dark on him though.
Is this true?
What's up?
Corey Hewins said Russ said he will take the minimum, apparently.
I didn't hear that.
I did see an article headline hinting at that. I don't know if he said it in the same interview or not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you look at these Wilson stats, man. 9-time Pro Bowl. The dude's a Hall of Famer.
It's Wilson, bro. Let's not play. It's Russell Wilson.
35 years old. You even look at last year.
It's
26 touchdowns, 8 picks, and that's only in 15 games. He missed 2 games.
I already know, bro.
That could have been over 30 touchdowns.
The issue with Russ
with some shitty Broncos receivers.
The issue with Russ is not necessarily ability. It's the cost with where he's at ability-wise that makes it an issue. If you're saying Russ on a min, if you're saying Russ for 10, if you're saying Russ for 20 million, you're taking that and you're loving it. It's Russ at 35. It's Russ at 40. It's Russ at 45. You're like, bro, I can't touch that because he's not at that level anymore. But if you telling me I'm getting Russ 25 or less, man, heck yeah, sign me up. And especially with the buzz cut, bro. Buzz cut Russ, absolutely. He's got to keep the buzz cut, bro. That wasn't the same Russ that you've been seeing in Denver. That wasn't the same Russ you saw that last year in Seattle. That looked like young Russ. That looked like hungry Russ. That looked like I got something to prove to you, Russ. And that's the Russ I like. That's not that, hey, let's ride. That's not that one. That's not the, hey, guys, hey, brothers, you good, brother? All right, we're good. Let me go out here and just, I'm going to do an imaginary game before the game starts just because the camera's watching. Like, nah, I don't want that Russ. That Russ, though, that looked like a real dude right there. That looked like somebody that you ready to go to war with, man.
So, from my research right here, it looks like these are reporters or insiders saying that Russell may be willing to take the vet minimum with his new team. I don't think it's something he directly said, though. Yeah. But there's about 4 or 5 articles here. There we go.
I mean, that's always going to be the big question. Because people are going to say, well, hey, if you get released by Denver, you're still going to get $30, almost $40 million.
Yeah, you're still getting that massive.
So are you still okay going out there for nothing additional and still playing? For some people, that makes sense. For others, you're like, why would I leave an additional $20 million? Now you're telling me I can get $60 million to play this season? Who doesn't love $60 million? I could play for an additional $10 million. Who doesn't love $50 million? You see what I'm saying? That's what we always say. You set your contract up like how Russ did. So when the team tries to jank you on the back end, you get a chance to really whip it out and say, hey, baby, come on now. Because wherever he goes after this happens, you get the double. So, yeah, I'm like, man, Russ, don't drip now. Don't drip. That's a lot of money sitting there for you, man.
Yeah, I still think his market's at least $20 million, at least.
That's what I'm taking who
now
would you?
with this extended salary cap.
Because I'm like, who is the demographic? What's the market of quarterback for 25 million? We're talking Tannehill. We're talking Jameis Winston. We're talking, is Brissett low end in that range?
Oh, no, what, 25 million? You're talking about back in the day for Tannehill? Because I don't no,
you know what I'm saying, like who's
the
quarterbacks that we're saying is that? Because
I
Daniel Jones is 40
I think it's just
million.
Russell and Cousins. I think they're their own tier, and then it's a drop off for everyone else.
Because is Geno's 20 million.
Yeah, he was what, 25,
25?
30? Yeah.
So I'm like, I like Russ. I'll take Russ for 25.
Yeah, I think that would be a fair price for him, given his age and everything.
Who else is another $25 million quarterback?
Probably be there for 2-3 years.
Baker probably be a $25 million quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. Probably more.
Yeah.
Just because of his age. I think, Russell and Baker, they could be comparable.
Yeah. So for me, I would lean Russ in that scenario as well. Trying to think.
Yeah, depending
for that
on
2025.
Depending on if you want more proven, how you're looking at it. Like Buccaneers may feel like Baker will be our franchise guy for 5 years, whereas Russell's going to a new team.
Because, I look at both of them in a scenario of neither are longer than 5 years. I don't think either one is going to be longer than a 5-year answer. Because Russ, I think he's going to just age.
You think Baker's going to flat out?
It's Baker. I just think that he's never shown that he could play at that level consistently enough. And why would I think he's going to do it for 5 years or age out 5 years smoothly like that? So that's why I think either one of those are in the same category of within 5 years, you're going to be moving on. You're going to be drafting your next guy. But in that 5-year window, which one of them gives you a better chance to win a Super Bowl? To me, I say Russ because I've seen him do it before. I've seen him go right back.
On that.
And he's been a big game player. We've never seen him traditionally fold in big moments.
No.
Other stuff might happen, but he traditionally has shown up. So that's why for me, I lean Russ. The big issue with Russ has just been how much money he got to go to Denver. And it's like, if you're going to go get that, what does that cost? But if we're talking him being released, it's a totally different conversation.
Well, what's crazy is looking back, I love that move for Denver because Wilson was considered a top 5 or 6 quarterback.
He was.
I didn't expect his play to take a drop.
And we felt
that.
Denver was a quarterback away.
Yep.
But whether you want to talk
between
Hackett,
Russell and Rodgers for that spot.
Right, but whether we want to say it was Hackett, whether we want to say it was Russ, whether it was the combination of both, the team, and then within a year you make the switch, now you go Sean Payton. I mean, it's a lot of variables out there. The same stuff we talk about with Kenny at times, just because they're bigger names, Nathaniel Hackett, Sean Payton, it still is change. It still is a part of that quarterback trying to feel comfortable. When we talk about his receivers versus our receivers here, it still is a part of the, dynamic. So I'm sure it's not all on him in terms of why it got to what it did out there.
Well, I think that's what he's trying to tell you with the buzz cut.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you, bro. Like, the buzz cut just looked different. Like, certain things are messages. It's like when a dude got crazy dreads and he colored them things, you're like, all right, bro, you goofy now. But then he cut them off, you're like, oh, all right, he for real. It's like, yo, he locked in, he ready to go. Like, that wasn't he ain't comb it over, he ain't comb it back. It was no gel. That was, yo, don't even hit me with the guard. Just, put against the grain. Yeah, his bar part was smoking a Newport.
Now I'm getting talked into Russ here.
Don't play. Bro, if Russ is 25 or less, 25 million or less, bro, what are we talking about? What is a better option of quarterback for 2024 for 25 or less?
Absolutely, you'd be like stupid not to take that.
But that's why I even said 25 or less, because I'm like, that to me is like that range. 25 or less, I'm loving it.
I'm not feeling amazing if it's 20 plus.
That's why I said my hard number at 25.
I'm not feeling amazing about it. I would understand why the Steelers would do it though, if they were so obliged. I think it would be an absolute steal for like anything 20 or less or 15 or less. That would be an insane steal.
If I'm getting it 15, 17, 12, 10, this is like the convo we had for Ben his last year when we said, yo, if Ben is coming back for 14, that's very different than if he's trying to come back for 20. But it's like, yo, if you're getting this type of quarterback at this price or less, it's like, bro, this is a steal. You know what this guy does and what you're going to also be able to add around him. So with Rush right now, man, come on, bro. Come back to that, man. Look, Coach T from the crib. You from the 804, but it's still VA. 804 to the 75. I mean, it's kind of similar-ish. Y'all ain't too far up the road. We still rock with you.
I think the most interesting factor is how much of a pay cut will Wilson be willing to take, and like how bad does he
think
want to go to the Steelers?
I think you sell it differently. I don't think you talk to him as in a pay cut. You talk to him as in how much of an additional bonus do you want? Because you're not taking a pay cut. You're already getting your compensation from Denver. But we're trying to give you a chance to come to a part of an organization that has legacy, that already has a championship mindset. We have a coach here that's already done it. You got a lot of pieces already in place. You're the missing piece, but you get a chance to also follow the grace of a Terry Bradshaw. You saw Ben Roethlisberger was still able to carve out his role here, carve out his name. You can do the same thing if you win a championship. You can carve out your name. You'll have your own space here also. How much money do you want on top of what you're going to get? You can go over there and get 30, but is that opportunity better than here for 20? Or is the opportunity better than here for 15? You can go over there and get 35, but you saw what you was just in Denver when you was making a ton of money and what happened when it didn't work out and how they put it on you.
Yeah, it's all about
that's
what
I'm
you
selling
want.
it to him, bro.
You
straight
really
up,
want your best opportunity to prove the haters wrong.
That's I'm selling
then
it to
you
him.
take the vet minimum, so the Steelers can sign additional players.
I'm selling it to him straight like that. Remember, the least or the lower their number is, the better we can add around you. But I'm not going to disrespect you, and that's the thing. That's why for me, I'm not putting the minimum on him, because as a player, you're like, bro, he's already accomplished far too much and has grown so far from that minimum number that to go back to it is just like, yo, what are we doing, man? That defeats the whole purpose of the model of kill to finally get paid. You don't kill, finally get paid, Now, let me just go back here to this. He's like, whoa, what? Yeah, he messed up the whole vibe. But the less he takes, though, the better it is for him and whatever team he goes to. And you definitely sell him on that, man.
If Ochocinco's rumor's true, wouldn't it be Russell Wilson reaching out to the Steelers and saying, like, I want to come here? Like, what's it going to take?
It'll be a mix of both. Because it's not necessarily what is it going to take to get there. It's for Russ, what number is he comfortable with first off? And then from there, the conversation would be, all right, this is the number I'm comfortable with. How comfortable are you guys with meeting me there? Because if Russ' number is 10 and we thinking it's 20, he say 10, we like, oh, bro, you good. We locked in. Don't trip. Now, if Russ' number is 30, we like, whoa, we don't want to do that. Let's talk you down some. But they both have to have some type of number and they have to have some type of conversation. So that's why I'm like, you know, this week coming up, baby, we should be hearing, or at least them conversations should be happening, because this is where everybody's gonna be at, man.
We need those Moats reports,
man. Look, I'm gonna try to see what I can find. All right, but put it like this, man. MPCP.
Man, I was not expecting this today.
No, it's because it's legitimate. MPCP and lifted ones. So you can call them mid with the ego. You can ask, is he really good? But you're confusing value of contract with actual production. Those are two different things. It's no different when me and Deke have talked in the past about which is the better option going forward with quarterback next year, Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph, versus spending money on a Kirk Cousins, right? And we said just because this option is cheaper, that does not mean that it's a better option. That does not discredit or take away from what another player has already done from a success standpoint. Russ is actually very successful, man. When you look at the season he just had, Deke wrote it off to you. Those are successful numbers. If we had them numbers at our quarterback position this year, we're looking very different. That's just the reality of it. But the issue is the money that he was making out there. That's why it feels drastically different. That's why you feel like, oh, he is mid. Oh, he's not good. Because when he's making what he's making, you're like, bro, the value doesn't add up. But you take that production that he had, right? Mid production in 15 games like Deke broke out. And you put that production at our quarterback position this year, and you tell me our roster, our record isn't different, the feel of our games isn't different.
Oh, forget Russ. I just feel like if we got what Mason was giving us those last 4 games.
What are we talking about, bro? That's my whole thing. So it's like, I get the, we don't like him because of the money, but let's not mix those two things up, because they are definitely two separate issues, man. But I like your mindset though, baby. I like your mindset. But yeah,
one of the things I would be most worried about with Russ is just the legs and escapability. If that's so far past him. But I looked.
You watch him. He's not past him.
Yeah, he's got 341 yards last year with 3 touchdowns on the ground. And like going even back to some of his prime Seattle days, he was in the 300, 500.
Yeah. But he's a smart guy in the pocket. He understands how to maneuver, and he understands how to put pressure on your D line. So don't think of it in the sense of he has to be mobile, drop the thing, and just take off. No, because he still looks to pass. But his ability to climb, his ability to maneuver, his ability to see man to man and instantly say, you know what, I'm going to just run on this one because I'm going to set up the throw the next time. That he still does have. And when you watch some of the Denver games, you still see some of that. The problem is when he was getting paid out there, you want him to be more of a force multiplier. And when you got your receivers not doing what they're supposed to do, injuries happen.
Yeah, those receivers.
Yeah, they play bad. They play bad. They did. So all of that comes together. But we're not looking at him in our situation as a $35, $40 million quarterback. We're looking at him, like I said, 20 or less. We keep it there, we're great. Because now he doesn't have to be this force multiplier. You can still have pieces. You can still add something. And now he gets to be just a part of and not having to be, hey, let me pull everybody. That's a way different version, bro. Yeah.
Maybe you're playing with house money.
Right. But I'm saying that's a way different version, though.
Yeah.
So that's kind of no different when we saw Durant, Curry, and Clay team up together, right? It's like, yeah, Durant by himself is nice. Curry and Clay by themselves are nice. But it's like you put them together, it's like, whoa, okay, this is different here. You bring Russ to a situation here where he's taking less, so you got another piece. You're like, bro, this is a different version of Russ. And that's the part where if you're just watching him in Denver, you can still see certain parts of that. And that's why for me, I'm like, yeah, if the number is right, and that's what it all comes down to, the number. But if the number is right, I love that option way more than Justin Fields, way more than Kirk Cousins, way more than any of them draft dudes that we would be in position to draft, right? Bo Nix or anybody like that. I like that option better than that. If not, run it back with Kenny and Mason, man, and we figure this out next year. But to me, that makes more sense because you got the guy that's already won it. It's not the Kirk conversation where I'm going to pay you a lot, but you've never actually won a Super Bowl. It's not Justin Fields. Hey, I love your talent, but I love everybody's talent at this level because everybody's talented. But you're just like a lot of these other guys who still haven't developed. Kind of like the situation we got right now. We got a quarterback, has talent, but he still hasn't developed. It's like with Russ, hey, man, we've already passed that. We've already seen that you could be a guy. You were a top 5 guy. You've been more a top 5 guy than you've been not a top 5 guy. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've been more of that than this.
At least top 10.
Yeah.
But no, you're 100% right because there's probably even a stretch there for 3 or 4 years. He was in the top 5, top 6.
So that's why for me, I'm like, bro, I lean that because it's proven and everything else. The issue has always been the money. But if we now having the loophole because of the Denver situation, yeah, I just think it changes a lot in terms of my perspective on it. And you know, I've never been a big Russ guy.
No.
But in terms of just the business and what we need versus what he brings and the buzz cut, oh yeah, absolutely, bro. Shout out to the buzz cut, bro.
The buzz cut was the breaking point.
It changed what, bro. I was like, hold on, bro. I started looking a little different. I'm like, yo, am I tripping? It's like, it's not, it can't be Russ, bro. That look like a goon right there. That like somebody I know. Hold on. He from the city. Boy, where you from? Boy, I know he from the crib. You from the two now? I started look, bro. I thought he was from NC State. That's what I thought he was from. I thought he was from Wisconsin. You know what I mean? That Russ right there with the black tee with the rolling. I said, oh boy, hold on. I know that look. We know that one. That looks familiar. So yeah, bro.
So you think the cheesiness is melting off him right now?
Hey, it's patty melt right now, bro. He got a grilled cheese right now. All right, you call it what you want to call it. All right, that thing fine.
That's what I'm saying. He's losing it. Like, he's breaking out of that.
Salute him, bro. Salute him. I liked it. That's all I'm saying. I liked it, bro.
I didn't think we'd be sitting here at 10:39 talking about Russ like this.
We were supposed to be talking O-line.
They're all valid points. All of it's valid.
We haven't even introed. Think about that, bro.
You know, I want
to
stick up for Kenny, but it's all valid. Well, I would completely understand if we got Russell Wilson on the cheap. Completely understand it.
And to piggyback what you just said too, and I didn't want to cut you off, but this has nothing to do in terms of me looking negatively on Kenny. I just feel like what Russ brings,
it's Russell Wilson
with that type of number, it's a way different dynamic. Because if we're saying take contracts away and we're just saying who's a better player, Russell Wilson or Kenny Pickett on February 26, 2024, we're going to say Russ. Because Russ has already proven it. Russ has already won a Super Bowl. Russ has already been the guy. Russ has already led a franchise. And he's not ancient. He's not Joe Flacco coming off the couch. we just talked about, he still was dang near 3-1 touchdown interception ratio. Still was a 3,000-yard passer. Still gave you 300 on the ground. And we're saying that's mid. And you know what we've had collectively the past couple of seasons here at quarterback play. We can make a case that it all still doesn't equate to what he just gave us. You're like, dang, bro, like, we still short, like 1 or 2. So that's my only thing, man.
Yeah, so an argument for Mason would be if we could get what he did those last 4 games out of a whole season, that's as good as Russ there, if not better. But we haven't seen Mason do it like Russ has. Russ is a Hall of Famer.
Mason is a question mark. Can he do it still? Right? For the elongated time. Kenny is a question mark. Can he actually develop into what Mason was giving us as a floor? Justin Fields, another question mark. Was it Chicago, or can he actually hone these skills? Kirk Cousins, another question mark. Hey, is he going to be the big money guy that going to light your stats up and give you a lot of production regular season, but you're always going to have that question mark in the back of your mind of, can he do it in crunch time? Tannehill. Dang, bro, we ain't seen you be nice in a minute, man.
Same thing.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
And he's just flat out
we
worse
ain't seen you be nice in a minute. Yeah. So it's like with all 5 of them. Okay, Bo Nix. Man, you look good at Oregon,
rookies,
but you're a rookie, you know. High-powered offense, we like it, but it's still question marks, and I still question, are you going to actually be better than Kenny in year 1 if you were to come here? So that's 6 options with 6 legitimate question marks.
And when you draft a quarterback in the first round, that means you're not taking another position of need.
This is also true.
Yeah, and Russ, I think he has a little bit of a question mark, but it's not even it's not on the level of all the other guys that you mentioned because of what he has proved. The question is just like, how are you going to age here?
Yeah, how are you going to age? But you age a lot better when you're a lot cheaper because we can put more talent around you. And that's the selling point, man. The same way we look at Brock Purdy and we say you're thriving because you got pieces around you. Why is that? It's not because Brock Purdy isn't good. No, Brock Purdy is good, but he's cheap. So when you cheap, you can add a lot more. So Russ, the same way we always tell defenders, right? When you aging on defense, they say you got to start getting light in weight. All right. When you start getting your numbers up, start getting that weight down so you can age smoothly. You can stay fast. You can stay out on that field. Same concept for you, Russ, at this quarterback position, man. All right, you keep that number a little low. Hey, we can add more pieces around you. You can keep looking good.
Sign the Tyler Boyd.
You'll look a lot better. Come on, bro.
Frymouth,
You'll look
Russ,
a lot better.
Najee.
You'll look a lot better, bro. You keep your number down.
Or two.
Keep the pieces around you, bro. Listen, you got a Jackson Powers Johnson. You got a Zach Frazier. You got a Cedric Van Pran. We got options to replace Mason. We're going to talk Mason Cole in a little bit. So you got some options, though. That's my thing with it, man. So, we shall see.
It makes sense, man.
We shall see, man. We shall see.
Not going to lie. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like I said, this was not supposed to be what we was talking about.
And
I don't even know how we got to this, though.
He gets cut by the Broncos and, all this plays out, which I don't know when we're going to find out. Probably within a couple weeks.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Sooner rather than
before
later.
the new year.
New league year starts, in a couple weeks, man? So
it's a short February.
Yeah.
What's the exact date? Is it the 17th?
The
14th?
17th, I want to say, because it's always that weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, so less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or almost exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah. So that's I'm like, we'll be finding out sooner rather than later, but you'll get more rumblings and stuff like that going on now because of everybody being there, everybody having conversations. So
yeah, so I'm with you. If this actually happens where he's cut and he would take a significant pay cut to play with us, I think that's better than any of the other outside options.
We're on the same page. I'm going to tell you now, El Moranic already done called me out on it. If I see Russ at the combine with the buzz cut Deke, I'm telling you now, I'm taking him to St. Elmo's, and we're going to have a sit down. I'm going to sell it to him, bro. I'm selling him Pittsburgh. I'm telling you now. I'm selling him Pittsburgh. I'm selling it. Bro, Russ.
Well, you're going to have to talk about that story on the podcast when you get back.
Oh, yeah, I got you, bro. If I see him there, you're coming with me. We're going to have a talk.
Is he actually going to be there?
I don't know. His agent would probably be there. I don't know if he would, but his agent would definitely be there.
Do you know who his agent is?
That's Google. That ain't hard to find. Yeah.
You want me to tell you so you know who to look out
you give me ahead of time? Oh, man. Hey, look. I got time, What?
Who do you think it is?
He's not a Drew guy. I think he's CAA. Is he CAA?
Hold on.
Yeah, he might be CAA Sports.
Where's it at? Oh, Mark Rogers. And Russ just turned 35.
Hey, that's a great birthday year, bro. 35. Well, actually, 35 was a little rough for the boy.
Like, he's not going to be 36 for the season.
That's fire.
Actually, midway through the season, he'll, 35 and 97 days. Yeah. So, yeah, towards the end of the season, I guess he'll be turning 36.
That's
not heading into the season.
I'm about to be 36, Deke. 36 is a vibe, bro. He's straight. He good. 35, bro. I feel great. I feel good. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the question. Could his game age like some of these other quarterbacks that have had twilights in their career? It hasn't looked optimal in Denver, but I also think last year was a step back in the right direction for him after that Hackett disaster. Yeah. That's the question. Because, I mean, you could definitely, if you're going to look at an Aaron Rodgers, you're going to look at a Tom Brady, a Drew Brees, like some of these guys, Big Ben, like you can go to like 38, 39, 40.
Absolutely. Why not? Heck yeah.
Man. Okay.
He said, man.
Okay. Gonna get interesting.
Because of the financial part of it, it is super interesting. And then, like I said, the buzz cut, bro. Sometimes I just need the eyeball test. That was the eyeball test for me. Because I know all the other stuff, but it's at times where he's like, bro, I don't know if that's the fit. I don't know if that is going to mesh, if that's what we want. But it's like, nah, that right there, that looked different. And that's why I'm like, shout out to those.
He's going to have a new dog in him
if
he gets here.
But it's like, it's certain things that you're not able to see if you're doing interviews with ESPN, if you do interviews with the networks.
Oh, did you listen to the whole interview?
Not all of it, but probably like, about 5-10 minutes of
I'll have to check it out.
Passing, yeah.
I'll check it out.
Because like I said, like I like the I Am Athlete model. I like some of the stuff that they do. Like I said, it's one of the OG podcasts for like athletes.
Get players being more open,
right?
Sure.
So it's like you could just see a different side of them. So that was the part where it's like we don't typically get to see that version. We see the more, crafty,
buttoned up,
Parmesan. Let's see. Mozzarella, yeah, a little feta, a little goat, a little blue, yeah, just lose more of that. Yeah. That right there, oh, that was different right there. That was catfish, that was deep fried.
Yeah, I guess I gotta listen to this interview.
Yeah, that was hot sauce. That what that was. I like that was Texas Pete. That was Louisiana. I like that. So yeah, man. With that being the case though. Yo, that is funny. We 47 minutes in. It's 10:48. It was a heck of a convo.
Definitely worth it.
Heck of a convo. Shout out to Deke for the Black History Month fact. Shout out to the Russ convo. All right, and we're gonna give another quick update real quick. All right, we do got a hard 11:30 stop today because I do actually got to get on the road because I do got to make it to the combine. All right, so I see the supers coming in. We're gonna do this real quick, Deke. Let's. I'm trying to see. Do we just go ahead and knock out this Mason Cole real quick, talk the center stuff, and then the last 20 minutes, we just hit all supers.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, let's do that.
No shout-outs today.
Yeah.
Let's just do that. So, I'll shout out Rod Dulles, 338 Youngstown, Ohio.
Hey, shout out to Leah Warren, man, the 254 Killeen, Texas in the building also, man. You know we got love for you in the building. All right, shout out to Stan Clear, always tapping in with us. Kenneth Moses, you know what time it is, baby. We appreciate you. Mike Hood, Micah Hemp, and Cody Kahn. All right. And, of course, you too, Tito, with the good vibes. All right. So we're going to hit them like that real quick. All right. Because, we got to kind of keep on a little bit of a schedule. Trying to be a little button up today. Just a little bit. Not all the way, though. So hit that like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right. Typically, we an afternoon unit, but, when I got to do this work thing, we get a little janky. All right. But, we did have some roster movement, man. Mason Cole was released. What day was that? Would it have been Saturday? Friday, Saturday time frame. One of them, yeah.
Seems like forever ago.
Low key, I swear it does, right? But it was after the show.
It was late last week, yeah.
Yeah, so it was either Friday night, Saturday time frame where Mason Cole was released. But ultimately, we saved around $5 million. He had obviously been the starting center for us the past 2 seasons, started every game for us. But yeah, of course, now we do have a little bit of a void, but just in terms of your thoughts, man, what was, your initial reaction when you saw Mason Cole get released?
Not surprised at all. His play took a big step back last year. Not only just letting some dudes get around him and quarterbacks getting some unnecessary pressure on him because of what Cole was doing out there, but the snaps was a big issue as well. And the fact we get to save $5 million by cutting him, yeah, I think it just made sense to me. I didn't think it was a big surprise. I had a feeling maybe we'd keep him around, be like a backup for either center or guard, just to be in the mix. But at $5 million, yeah, that just makes sense to me.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Not surprised at the release. $5 million that you saved for a player that was very, had took a step back.
He was good his first year here.
Yeah, he was good. I thought the first year and the first half of last season, I thought that midway point to the back end, it just got really inconsistent. Snap location, and then just consistently, in protection or even in the run game. We obviously saw multiple games where he would get bullied at times, and it just wasn't a good look. And then when you couple that with some of the inaccuracy with his snaps, that makes it harder on any quarterback, let alone young quarterbacks. So just to give you a breakdown, instead of that quarterback being able to get the ball, survey the coverage, survey where the pressure is coming from, where he wants to go with his reads, how he wants to climb, maneuver the pocket, he doesn't get that luxury. He has to first locate where this ball is, whether it's high, low, left, right, then get composed, get that football, and now go through that process of what's the coverage, where's the pressure coming from, who's open, what are my reads. For young quarterbacks, everything is already moving fast. So now you're adding another element to make it even faster. Yeah, that became even more of a glaring issue. If your quarterback's Ben Roethlisberger, we're not tripping on it as much. Does it still affect them? Yes, and we saw that with 7. But it's a difference when you have a guy that is just more established. So I thought that was a part of it. But more importantly, you have to be more stout. And we know Andy Weidel, that's one of his things, man, dating back to his time in Philadelphia. He believes in building up the trenches. So if he feels like your play isn't consistently good enough, they're making moves. So for me, man, I like it. I do think that I don't want to say it pigeonholes us, but I do feel like it puts a lot more emphasis on us addressing center early rather than later, because even though Mason Cole, you're saving $5 million, even though he did have some of the snap issues, he was still a lot better than Kendrick Green. He was still a lot better than J.C. Hassenauer. He was still a lot better than my dog B.J. Finney. Since Pouncey, he's been the only center to really give us peace of mind.
Yeah.
So even though we are saving money, even though towards the last couple of games or the back half of the season, he did have more inconsistencies, let's not lose sight of where we came from and what he was able to give us, because we were in a bad space, man.
Yeah, I think
we
overall,
were in a really bad space, man.
Tenure here was a net positive.
Yeah.
It just ended bad.
Ended bad, man. And that's a part of it. You hope that, you it's like 1 or 2 games and not like the back half, but, it is what it is, man. I would like to see him potentially go back to guard or go to a guard spot, because if you're taking the snapping part off, I think he could definitely be a depth guy somewhere.
Yeah.
Because he's still a good enough player.
Here.
Yeah, he's still a good enough player where you can rotate him either guard spot, and he has some snapping ability, which we already know. That's my thing. But the $5 million is a no-brainer. You got to save the 5. Get the 5, because you can go draft something in the first, or you can go take that 5 that you're saving and potentially go get something in free agency. So, yeah.
Speaking of drafting something, then.
Yeah, man.
It probably looks like the most glaring of need right now.
Yeah, and that's a perfect transition by you too, man. So, with that though, figure the big 3 that everybody's talking about.
That's who I looked at.
Yeah, the big 3. Jackson Powers Johnson, center from Oregon. You got Zach Frazier, the center from West Virginia, Deke's favorite school. And then you got Cedric Van Preen, the center from Georgia. Now, I got a chance to watch him. Watched a couple of games on them, each of the dudes. To me, I kind of like them. Jackson Powers Johnson first, Zach Frazier the second guy, and then Cedric Van Preen the third dude.
That's what I got it chalked to. Yeah.
Yeah. I think all 3 are very good. All 3 bring something different. Jackson Powers, to me, is the best across the board in terms of physicality, athleticism, nastiness, finishes, the most comfortable in space. the most
yeah,
well
he moves
equipped.
the best out of
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, like to
It
me,
was almost like Pouncey-esque.
that's
to
what.
me.
Yeah, I was like, he reminded me, like he gave me Pouncey vibes. Wasn't like, cause Pouncey is Pouncey, so I'm not gonna just put that on him. But like his
He looks like a
fluidity,
bowling ball out
yeah,
there.
his ability just in space to get up on the second level and not get foot faked. A lot of times when you watch Zach Frazier or even Cedric Van Pran, you're like, yo, you're missing some of these dudes because in open field, that's us you're trying to hit. We're like, bro, I'm about to let no 300-pound man just hit me. I'm about to, don't move. Now you done. But when you see them dudes like Jackson Powers Johnson, that was kind of what remind me of Pounce, where you're like, bro, you can't out athlete this guy because he's just as athletic, but he's 6'3", 300 pounds. Jackson Powers definitely gives you that. Like I said, I liked him a lot, man. I thought he was the most fundamentally sound. Also, I thought him and Zach Frazier fundamentals were probably the highest, of those three dudes in terms of consistently footwork, hand placement, keeping their head out of it. The only knocks that I had really on Jackson Powers was just a couple of times I saw him give up a little bit of movement versus the bull rush, some of the bigger body like D tackles. And I said, because of how athletic he is, and Pouncey would have some of this happen to him too, they overreach at times. And it's like, because he's so athletic, you get by this guy, and now the dude can low-key backdoor you. And it's not that he beat you. It's almost like you were too great that you took yourself out of position, so to speak. Sometimes that pops up with him when we're watching him like on toss plays or just plays where he's, zone or reach and blocking and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's not
the end of the world.
Yeah, I was like, it's not a lot of negative with him.
Because we were talking a little bit of the same thing with Linderbaum.
About
the bull rush and taking on bigger defensive tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's worked out just fine.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I'm like, to me, Jackson Powers Johnson was the favorite of it. Next, I thought Zach Frazier, like I said, man, I liked him a lot. I just thought that he was just a little bit less of Jackson Powers. Like,
yeah, he's just not as athletic. He's just solid.
Yeah, he's
really
like, he just looks good across the board. Like, he's got the effort, he has the fundamentals, he has the nastiness. He's gonna get the pancakes. Not as many pancakes as Jackson, but he's gonna get the pancakes. He's good in pass pro. He can anchor versus the bull. Not the strongest, but it's like, yo, you see him work. He's not the best in space, but he makes his blocks in space. And I also like the fact that with him, you got flexibility too. You can play him at guard. You can play him at center. I just think that he was just like a little bit lesser version of Jackson. Like,
yeah, I felt the same way because he is a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're around the same height.
Yeah, because he was probably
not
the
as
smallest
athletic
of the group. Yeah,
not as athletic, but man, you could tell he's just a technician back there. Like,
Yeah.
he holds his own.
Absolutely.
But he's not going to be as good as space as the JPJ.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked him. Yeah, if we get him and he's been moving. Both these centers have been moving up the draft boards.
Yeah.
Now JPJ, I can't believe I'm calling him JPJ, but if we draft him, we're gonna have two on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's gonna go first round if we're gonna want to get him, and then maybe Frazier second or third.
round.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be completely fine. And then Van Pran, I got him third, so I don't know exactly where he's going, but I feel like third rounds would be more fitting for him. He doesn't look as good as the other two. It seems like there's just a tier
gap.
difference.
Yeah, I felt like it was a gap. I thought Jackson Powers clear cut 1, Zach Frazier clear cut 2, and then I definitely thought it was like a bigger gap between 1 and 2 than it was, or a bigger gap between 2 and 3 than it was between 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, Cedric is Cedric, I love his size, man. 6'4", 310. They haven't listed 6'4", 310. He just looked to me bigger than the other guys. Like, just watching him, I'm like, bro, you look big. Zach Frazier look kind of small.
Look like a tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle playing center.
Seriously, bro. So I'm like, yo, I love your size. I think he's a really good athlete. Has positional flexibility. Played center, played guard at Georgia. And I think he runs his feet on occasion, man. When he is engaged, he can finish you. When, you're watching how he wins, he doesn't always win with his physical traits. Sometimes he'll actually win with smarts, beat you to a position and just kind of, use his body to shield you off, so to speak, versus the typical or traditional hat in hands or let me cut you off hat in hands. So it's some of that savviness that I do like. I just thought for me, man, he was just a little too laissez-faire, chill with his play. I don't want to call him a lazy player, but his motor didn't look like Jackson or Zach Frazier.
No.
To me, I don't know if it was a Georgia thing, because you remember when we talked Broderick a year ago, and I was like, yo, I love Broderick. I think he's a great athlete, but at times I'm just like, yo, like, give me a little more. And then we said in the preseason, it was like, yo, I think he's nice, but I just want a little bit more urgency. I just want a little bit more finish. When I watch Cedric, I kind of get them vibes. It was like, bro, you're nicer than this. You could kill this dude, but you're kind of just chilling. Like, you won. Like, yeah, you ate your block. Your guy make the play, but it's like you can make it a lot easier on that guy. You can make it a lot better on yourself if you just do it. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just who he is, but that was kind of how I was when I was watching him, bro.
I wouldn't be too ecstatic if we drafted him early. If we got him in the 3rd or the 4th or something, then yeah. But between those 3, I would definitely prefer Powers Johnson and Frazier.
Yeah, that was my thing, bro. I'm like, yeah, it was nothing against the kid personally, but I'm just like, bro, you're watching these other 2 guys play. Watch how these other 2 guys play. They're playing through the whistle. You watch him play, and it's kind of like, all right, the play's still kind of going on, and he just kind of just chill it. It's like your guy's not doing nothing, which is good, but it's like, yo, go hit somebody, go be active.
He's not getting smoked.
Nah, he's winning, but he's just
there.
Chill, yeah.
You're right. Just that he's utilizing that big body and shielding dudes off. Just making it tough for defenders, but I mean, I'm not seeing like a takeover ability.
Right. Whereas when I watch Jackson, I'm watching Jackson physically take a man, and he's like, "Come here." I'm watching Frazier. Come here. I'm just like, yo, that's what I want to see. Like, if you're my old lineman, I want that in you. I want that. That's
particularly at center.
Yeah. So that was my own thing, man. But I'm definitely one of those 3. Preferably one of the top 2, though.
Yeah, we
preferably one of the top
center.
2.
Yeah, unless we do it in free agency, which I don't think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna draft either Frazier or Jackson Powers Johnson. I think we definitely got our hand out there now. Yeah,
we tipped it. We definitely tipped it. But we do have a caveat. We still have the James Daniels potentially moving him to center. I don't love it. I don't
feel great about it.
I don't love it. You know, I don't love it. But as a worst case Band-Aid, because
you could step back too.
Because you could bump him to center, put Nate Herbig at guard, and now you still kind of got your Band-Aid situation there. Worst case scenario.
If we had to play tomorrow.
Right. If we play tomorrow. But I do feel like you put yourself in a little bit of a bind in the first 2 rounds. You're going to need to take a center, man.
Have to.
Because you have no depth. You don't have a starter or you don't have depth. It's one or the other. Because if we saying Daniels and Herbig are your depth, then who's your starter? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the best play is go corner in free agency. And then either double O lineman, 1st, 2nd round, either to take a guard tackle and then a center in the other round.
Shout out to Rod Dolly. He brought up Spencer Anderson also can play center. Still.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. 7th rounder from last year.
Right. But that's just like, do you feel comfortable? I mean, if that was your guy.
No, I want this Jackson Powers Johnson, dude. I'm not even in front. But if you go corner and then you could either do double O lineman in the first 2 rounds, or you could do O lineman, particularly center and like inside linebacker. Yeah, because I like some of these linebackers. I like some of them. I was watching them yesterday too.
Oh yeah, I watched Let's Go UW's boy Easton Gibbs. Easton just man, all your linebackers, bro. I love it. You got the Logan Wilson, them Chad Moments, man. All them dudes look the same. Now, I will say this. I do think the other 2 were better. I think Logan Wilson's the best of the group. Mumu was the second. Easton straight, though. I like Easton, man. I think he moves well in space, you know. Definitely good in coverage, stuff like that. Productive. Super volume tackler. 100-plus tackles back-to-back seasons, too. I do like that, man. Shout out to Easton. But, yeah, he got that Wyoming LB. That's, yeah. Y'all keep a guy over there now. I'll peep you.
How you feeling on Xavier Howard? You're saying he's going to get released?
Price tag and health. If price tag is right, he's nice. But health is the other part, so that's why the price tag has to be right.
He wouldn't have to be CB1 anymore. It's JPJ.
Yeah, well, trust me. Xavier Howard is a number 1 based off of his talent.
I get it. He's just getting up there in age.
Oh, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, but it's like the health part is my big concern. So if the number is low or lower, I'm all good with it because he's talented as heck. And he's closer to his elite. He's closer to being, his elite self than where Pat P is when we brought him over.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But it's just he hasn't been healthy, bro. He just keeps getting hurt. And he don't get like the small injury. He going for 6-7 games at a time.
That'd be really intriguing.
Yeah. Because he nice. He nice. You know I'm familiar with that one. He one of the ones I hate the respect over there. I'm like, you and Christian Wilkins, boy. Yeah, and Baker. I don't like y'all, but I respect it. I don't like you, though.
You got him. You got Snead. You got Johnson.
I still go Snead first option because he's the healthiest. I think the youngest, or in terms of just like age-wise right now and championship pedigree. But in terms of talent, Xavier Howard's going to be the talented of the group. He's the most proven of the group. He's the most high-end of the group. But I think he also has the most risk as well because of the health and what you're going to have to pay him potentially.
Hopefully would be cheaper than the other two because of the age and the injury concerns.
But
and just where
have
he's
you
at in his
seen
career.
the contracts that he's typically on?
Right.
What is coming down look like? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is your pay cut? Because you can cut off 5, and that's still more than I want to pay you.
What would that be, like 10?
Yeah. I think he was almost, yeah, was he 16 or 17? He's up there, bro.
Right. Yeah, he's
up there,
he had
man.
A big deal. He had a big deal, and then he was complaining about the big deal.
Yeah, got another one. Yeah, all right,
deal.
yeah.
He led the league in picks.
In picks,
that 1 year.
yeah.
Let's see. He had 18
Yeah.
average salary.
You see what I'm
5
saying?
years over.
We could take off
90
5
million.
and you paying him 13. I don't want to do that. That's what I'm trying to feel like. What is the pay cut? $10 million pay cut. You paying him 8. He nice.
Yeah, I'd do the 8. I'd do I think I'd do anything like 10 or less.
Because I feel like I could backdoor Gilly. I could backdoor Gilly right here. Stephon Gilmore. Think about the whole when he went to, was it Carolina for the $5 million or whatever he went for? I'm like, let me do that. Let me try to see if I can get you on this. You're 1 year, prove it, show everybody your health. You can get back to being who you are, and then you go break the bank somewhere else. But that's how I'm selling it to Xavier.
You're talking like me.
That's what I'm selling it to him. Xavier, come here, bro. Go rebuild that credit up. You already got a defense that got pieces. You got another corner that is going to take off that pressure from you. You got a pass rush. We got safety play. You come here for 5. Come here for 7 in that range. You're going to be nice. You're going to get picks. You're going to be on big time TV. You already know all those things.
Getting some of those picks would be nice.
And you playing against the quarterbacks. You got Lamar in here. That's must-see TV. Joe Burrow, must-see TV. And then we'll see what they doing in Cleveland. But either way, it's like, bro, you know you good.
I'm interested.
Number got to be right, though. Like I said, I don't want to do anything over 7, 8. Like that's a lot to me for him right now because just the injuries past 2-3 years he's been banged up.
You want to hit these super chats then?
Yes.
Get up out of here.
Shout out to the fact that we did get both our topics in after everything else. So Deke, we got 22 minutes. Let's rock. 22 minutes. Let's rock.
Michael Brooks, first one says ChatGPT said Kenny is the second best quarterback in the league. LOL.
Where's ChatGPT? I feel like I'm missing something.
That's that AI.
Oh, sheesh. Shout out to the AI then.
Yeah, where you say like ChatGPT, tell me who's the second best quarterback in the league, or where does Kenny rank, and then it'll spit out an answer for you.
Okay.
Based off all the information it gathers on the internet and whatnot, and
shout out to the analytics then, I suppose.
That's what ChatGPT had to say. Fish momentum. Maybe, honestly, you know what? Maybe they heard my take. ChatGPT heard my take about, Kenny's going to be top 3. Because I think I had Rodgers and Mahomes over him.
Nah.
So they figured that Rodgers was hurt last year, so that only means Kenny would move up into that second spot. That's how they did it. They probably gathered all this information from the internet, and they're like, oh, wait, this one guy, Deke, is saying top 3.
Shout out to ChatGPT then, man. Shout out to ChatGPT.
Fish momentum. Hey, guys, how are y'all? Hashtag Mr. Jack Myers Jr. Hashtag ambition.
Man, hashtag. And shout out to ambition, and shout out to you. Absolutely, man. Life's good over here, man. We can't complain. We trying to get everything knocked out. All right, just checking off the lists today. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess up the kids. Pack the bags. Open the door for Deke. Podcast. So yeah, so far so good. So far.
Fish momentum says don't mess with Cam Newton.
Big facts. Y'all crazy. Everybody talk like they want that. You don't really want that. But I'm hoping that he wasn't actually fighting people. And he was breaking it up, but I don't know. You didn't see the video?
No.
You saw his football camp.
I thought that had to do like with his takes, or was someone going after his takes?
So at his football camp, over the weekend, he got into an altercation. We don't know if the two gentlemen were fighting each other, but it's like 3 dudes with Cam's in the middle tussling with him. He has a hat on. He throws the one dude off the stage. Like, bro. Cam got the freaky hat on. He is ragdolling folks, bro. But you can't tell if he's like breaking it up or really like fighting. But he's not punching, but he's just manhandling cats off this stage, and it's like 3-4 cats over there, and everybody's looking like, oh, that's what an NFL player really looks like, and that's a quarterback. So everybody that be talking reckless, just remember that when you ever want to run up on or say something to somebody, because yeah, it looked like a grown man playing with kids, and that's a quarterback. So
yeah. I'm gonna guess.
Oh, it's on first right now. They talking about it. Everybody's talking about it.
Guess right.
But it was like 4. It was like 3 or 4 dudes on him.
Obviously, Cam wasn't the one starting this either way.
Well, the problem is the video.
he's got so much to lose. He's not doing that.
The problem is the video starts. They're already tussling.
He said no,
and you just see Cam like taking the cat off, and then the other dude's trying to jump. Cam grabbing him. It's like, yo, yeah.
You gotta like just who Cam Newton is, right? Like he's not the one.
Then the staff finally comes. I'm like, staff, where were y'all at? Where were your antennas at, bro? Now they want to come over here and save the kids that's getting whooped. They want little, like, I don't know if they actually like were like teenagers or grown-ups. Like, you can't tell because of like how crazy the video is. But yeah, you literally see it like 3 of them cats and Cam is, yeah.
Yeah, Stan Clair thinks the guy attacked him.
Yeah.
And he had to defend himself.
Because Cam was chill though. But when I tell you my man's hat, you know he wore the big hats, right? His hat never moved, bro. He is whooping booty. Come here, you get some of this, you get some of this, you get some of this. Call your folks if they get some of this too. The hat never moved, bro. I was like, salute Cam. I was like, yo, shout out to the podcast because Cam's another podcast guy. I'm waiting on the episode to drop because he gonna have to tell us the story, bro.
Yeah. AJ Martinez gifted 20 Moats memberships.
Shout out to AJ Martinez. And I know you don't have the name, so I'm just gonna simply say, well,
I did, but I didn't want to say him at this point.
The up.
We're crunched for time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we are. So we're going, like I said, we got a little bit more pace today. All right. Because your boy do got to hit the road. All right.
AJ Martinez says, I'm busy helping my pops, but good morning and blessings to all. Me and Big Earn are listening.
Hey, salute y'all, man. And shout out to you and your pops, man. From the heart, baby. From the heart.
Corey Hewins. Russ said he'll take the minimum. Apparently. Oh, I already read that. And that was a big point of discussion for
absolutely
our Russell Wilson conversation. We also got Chewy Regal. He won't be listening to this until 4 a.m., but shout out to my little bro, Matt Regal.
Shout out.
Making those sub buns and pizza dough for Pasquale's in Titusville, PA.
Shout out to Pasquale's. Let's go. Shout out to you, Chewy, and shout out to you, Matt, when you listening to this at 4 a.m. Just know we shouting you out, all right?
Dude's grind.
Respect on that, man. That's that pizza life, bro. Got me in early. Big facts.
Coming here, a lot of people are wanting us to take Jackson Powers Johnson, but I'm not sure he'll be there at 20. So are we getting a center in free agency and then corner by first round? How about Terry and Arnold at 20?
If Jackson Powers isn't there, I still probably look towards Zach Frazier. I want to see what he's going to be projected as. If he potentially is able to sneak into that first or if he's going to be a second round guy. But I think center is definitely one of the positions that I'm going to be more focused on just because of the release of Mason Cole. And as we've seen, we can have all the other positions we want. If we don't have that offensive line taken care of, it's going to make it very challenging on whoever's at quarterback. So that's my only thing with it. I'd have to look a little bit more into the free agency market for centers, but I don't feel great about it right now, just because I know I'm going to have to spend more cash on something. And if I wanted to be definitively better than Mason Cole, and we said Mason's Cole marker was at $5 million, that's at least what we're saving, I'm going to have to at least spend more than that, more than likely. So that's why I'm still leaning more draft for that center position just to keep that number in order. I don't want that number to become a bigger thing, and now it's kind of messing up the equation of how we're addressing some of these issues roster-wise. That's all.
All right, next we got Phantom TV. Steelers need a Dodgers type of offseason.
Man, Dodgers be spending, don't they?
Yeah, they got
they spend, bro. Yeah.
On top of their already awesome team.
Yeah. They'll cut a check.
Calmonier, this is the best coaching staff we've had in a minute.
I swear. And it's fire. I love it, man. I'm just hoping that, with all these big cooks, little cooks, and cooks in training, that's going to ultimately give us what we're looking for, man. With whoever's at quarterback. Because the same way we're talking about how all those people benefit a Kenny Pickett, if Russ is in here, it'd be the same type of concept because you're just having a lot of like-minded people, right? People that understand the position or that have played the position working together to make it the best it can be. So it still is going to have a benefit whoever it is at that spot.
Camonier, how much per year are y'all willing to give Mason?
7.
Yeah, that's probably the max.
7. Because I need to see it more. It was 4 games. I'm extremely excited for what he did, but that is still part of my uncertainty with it. It was 4 games. I don't know if he can do it for 17 because I've never seen it happen. So to pay it as if it could prematurely is the part that would bring me hesitancy if I'm the organization. But I'm sure for Mason, he don't want to hear that either. So I'm sure that could potentially be a sticking point when it comes.
Probably based off his market too. Yeah. Maybe the Steelers don't even have to pay 7.
Right. Because if no other team is going to trust it, they just be like, hey, man, that was a flash in the pan or you just got hot at the right time. I'm good on you. That could also be the case.
Van Bradford, y'all think KP needs to add a little bit more size to his frame? Also, what's your thoughts on trading for Malik Willis or signing a Minshew?
In terms of Kenny adding more weight to his frame, I don't have a hard preference on that one way or the other. If you can throw the ball, that's what I care about. Can you read, your coverages, and do you understand your escape plan in terms of, are you a clown the pocket guy? Because we've seen where you kind of reverse bail a little bit too frequently and how it's got you in trouble. So I'll be more focused on that than per se him trying to gain weight, because I don't look at him as a fragile or frail guy. Now, in terms of Malik Willis or Gardner Minshew, either one of them dudes you bring it in as a backup, 2 or 3, and it's depth. And if they give you anything more than that, great. But up until this point, there isn't any indicator that would, make you feel better about their scenario long term than Kenny's scenario long term. So that's my only thing. But it doesn't hurt either one if they're on the roster. It doesn't hurt anything. But I don't think that either one would be long term answers either. I don't even think they would be viewed that way, personally.
No, I think Minshew would be a good backup. I think Willis could be a good guy to have in here as QB3. Then you wouldn't have to draft the guy late in this upcoming draft.
Because he's still young. This is what he'd be going this 3rd year as well.
Yeah, is it our first option or one of our? I guess first option when looking at like quarterback room and what to do with the free agency. No, but I think it's definitely a backup plan. Like, say we don't re-sign Mason, or we miss out on Russell Wilson, or don't trade for Justin Fields. Any of that stuff. Like, I think this is a legitimate scenario. Yeah. Bringing Minshew to be a backup,
and that builds out your depth. It builds out the roster as well.
Yeah.
And it's still a dude that started it.
Yeah,
he started. He's had some success, so you still, to an extent, you're not bringing in just a nobody.
Yeah, and I think Willis would be a good dude to have as QB3, just potential project. Who knows?
What I was about
to
say, your project. You got your scout team, Lamar Jackson guy as well. Yeah.
Mike Hood, don't think Russ is going to settle for the cheap deal.
Me personally, I don't either, but I do think you can talk him into potentially just adding on to what he currently has. Right?
He already has a big deal.
Yeah, he already has a big deal, but just try to word it differently. All right? It's perspective.
Yeah, maybe you do it just as a 1-year deal.
You see what I'm saying?
And say, hey, listen, man, you got this contract. You're going to be getting this money for like the next 3 or 4 years from Denver. Why don't we just do a 1 year, see how it goes? And if you do ball out, I mean, obviously, you'll get the extension.
I'll mess around and give you avoidable if you want it. We do one with avoidable. All right? It look good on paper. And if it work out, we'll give you a new deal afterwards. But whatever you need, this number for this 1 year, we can make that work. No.
But the Steelers are going to try to say, let's not make it anything crazy so we can't build more around you.
Yeah. Because to me, I don't want it anything longer than 2 years, personally. I look at it as,
for sure,
definitely 1 year, best case 2. I don't think it lasts 5 here. Just because it's going to eventually get back to I need that paper. If I'm a win you 1, and he talking about winning 2 and 5. Come on, bro. You ain't gonna be doing 2 and 5 on no men's. We know that. You rust. We see in the contracts you get. And you deserve them at times. So it's like, we get it. But that's the part for me when I'm like, I'm looking at this 2 year window. All right, what you got for me in 2? Can I get it done in 2?
GF. I love the Wilson idea, and it's a good deal because you absolutely keep 8 for the future. And
This
I
is
like
true.
Mason a lot, but I have zero trust the Steelers will have a fair competition with just Mason, and seeing Russ moonball to 14 can be fire.
Bro, you know how gorgeous that'll look Sunday afternoon. That ball just GP catching it, going crazy in the end zone. Come on, bro. It'll be a vibe. Deke out there losing his mind. We both out there losing our minds.
Mason was doing that.
I did. We was losing our minds. That's what I'm saying. He would just happen more frequently with Russ, so we would really lose our minds. We wouldn't be able to recover.
Russell Schwartz, Moats, major news yesterday. I'm going to be a dad again.
Bro, let's go. Let's go. Congrats to you on that, man. More life, man. I'm happy as heck for you, man. Shout out to the lady as well. All right. Blessings to all. Let's go. Let's go. You know, if you need names, Arthur, Arthurina, Eric, okay? Deke Moats, sir. All right. We figured it out. Just some type of blend, okay? But we appreciate you, man. Salute you, though. Salute you. Let's go.
Yo Young, JPJ2 is going to be a freak center.
I do agree. He does have a lot of, the traits that you're looking for in high quality centers. He has a lot of it. That's part of why people like him. That's part of why he's being viewed as how he's being viewed. Yeah, he has a lot of stuff pointing in the right direction. Very similar to Tyler Lindenbaum, Creed Humphrey, guys like that, where we felt, hey, man, just be on the lookout for him. I know he doesn't play a sexy position, but that's one you might want to know.
Rich Rasmussen, been a minute, just stopping by to say hi and thanks for the content.
Shout out to you, Rich.
JPJ in the first.
I like it. I like it, man.
Greg Yeager. Well, we need to trade up for JPJ.
I hope not, but we'll find out more as the combine goes on and pro days, because that's typically where you see dudes starting to make more and more jumps. But the other thing is, I keep seeing reports about, this quarterback might be moving up in the draft. The more of them quarterbacks move up, baby, the better it is for us.
Right.
Okay? The better it is for us.
When did Linderbaum go? I don't think centers
He
typically
was in
go
the
in the
teens.
top 20.
He was in the teens, wasn't he? No.
He was picked by the Ravens.
He was later. Yeah, he was later.
So I'm looking last year. I don't even know if there was a center drafted in the first round. Yeah, there wasn't. Because he was talked in the same vein as,
just Google Linderbaum's draft. Just Google when Tyler Linderbaum was drafted. 25. And who was the best center before him, like in the 2021 draft? Oh man,
Was that the Creed Humphrey one?
Might have been. See when Creed was. Because Creed was second round.
Yeah, because that was
Creed
Najee Harris.
Because we did Creed or we did Pat over Creed.
Was there any centers before him? There's obviously a lineman.
Yeah.
Alex Leatherwood.
Because typically it's been tackles that go
Slater,
like first.
Vera Tucker, Darisaw. No, Creed Humphrey went second round.
Man. Typically it's tackles. Pouncey was a first round dude.
So 20 would seem like a good spot. I just don't know if teams that are drafting in the top 20 value a center like that to take them that high.
It's not about
like you want a cornerback, a quarterback, tackle.
Don't think of it as value that high, because people don't value taking a running back in the first round either. We did. It's more so the need at that time.
That's what I'm fine with us doing it, but I just don't know if other teams.
Because there's a think about
amazing about doing it.
Because think about when we did running backs, we did Najee.
Yeah.
People look at us like, bro, you're losing your mind. There is no reason to ever take a running back in the first round.
They might have been right about that.
But still, we're like,
I don't have that same sentiment towards center, though. I think center is a big deal.
Well, because center age is better. Center age is a lot longer. We've seen Pouncey.
Yeah. You've seen Jason Kelsey.
Shoot, we've seen Demarni Dawson. We've seen Mike Webster. We know what a good center does, or a great center can do.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is I could see other teams that are, picking higher than us. Yeah. Just be willing to pass on a center. Yeah. And then, if they really want one, they can maybe get the dude, Zach Frazier, in the second round, early in the second round. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be completely fine with that pick at 20. Jack's Power Shot. So hopefully we don't have to trade up.
We have moved up the past couple of drafts, though. So we're not opposed to it. Obviously. We moved up for Broderick. We moved up for Devin Bush as well. We're not tripping on moving up.
Your boy Dev, best backup running back of Steelers all time. Here are the candidates. Isaac Redman, Willie Parker.
I'm biased.
Willie Parker playing behind the bus. No, that's cheating.
All right, I already
cheating
got
with the
my
Willie
guy.
Parker
I'm
one.
telling you, I got
Willie
my
Parker
guy.
does not count. He brings up Dwyer, D'Angelo Williams, Jalen Warren, Rocky Bleier, or other.
You gonna use Rocky as a backup? That's cheating. Don't. That's cheating. That's like trying to use Willie Parker as a backup. That's cheating. Those
The
aren't
Willie Parker
backups.
one is
Both of them
absolutely
are
cheating.
cheating. Rocky and Willie are cheating.
Willie because he actually was RB1. He was never playing behind the bus.
Uh-huh.
And then Rocky because he played just a different role.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't backup.
Uh-uh.
Although,
No.
I was going to say the same thing about
No.
Jalen Warren.
D'Angelo Williams is my answer. Jalen Warren is definitely a backup, though. He's transitioning, but he's still viewed as the backup.
I'm going to go Warren out of this crew right here.
Yeah, I'm D-Lo, man. Shout out to my dog, D'Angelo, man. I got a chance to watch some of his. Man, we got a couple minutes left, too. All right. Only a couple super, so I ain't going to take too long. But I was watching some of his stuff in Pittsburgh, man. I think it was. I forgot which game it was. But I was laughing because when you're playing, we never watched the offense like that. So it was like fun to just actually like, I'm going to just sit here and just watch just D'Angelo running this rock. Just D'Angelo catch this rock. I'm like, bro, we had a vibe, man. Oh, like it was nice, but it was like, yo, it just feels different. Like going back and like watching, like, oh, yeah, he cooking. Respect. So yeah, I'm biased. So I'm going to go D-Lo.
Yeah, he was really good. 12th Wonder, huge shout out. What do y'all think of Xavier Howard? You think we keep the inside linebacker set the same and just wait for them to get healthy? First love in a long time, but I'm always watching. Much love.
Hey, nah, man, we appreciate you, 12th Wonder. You already know what time it is. We definitely like Xavier Howard for the right price. Inside linebackers, they're not going to be able to just sit with this group because this group is going to take a lot longer to get back healthy. Cole had a big knee issue, man. Like, it wasn't just, we seen. It's like, dang, that sucks. That's a recovery. We also are experienced with Devin Bush and Zach Banner, right? Other guys who sustained knee injuries and how long it took them to kind of get back. So I don't think we can just sit there with that. Quan Alexander, Achilles late in the year. That's a harder, longer recovery. So those are two of your main guys that your first half of the season, they're either compromised or you're without them. I think you're going to have to bring something in that's youthful, something in that, can answer a lot of those questions. And, yeah, I think you're going to have to make a move, man. I think you do something to draft with it.
All right, Yo Young's on top of it. It says JPJ 2 is expected to go like pick 12 to 25.
I mean, that's about right, because if they view him
all it
and
takes
he
is one
keeps
team.
doing, yeah. But I say, because what's the difference of, we want him at 20, he wants at 16. It's like, that's not far off,
If you
man.
really
Yeah.
need a center. I don't know what other
Yeah.
teams out there need a center as bad as we do right now.
Right.
Or, again, their willingness to draft a center in the top 20 versus an inside linebacker, corner, quarterback, whatever it is.
But if you're a team that, you feel like you got everything kind of in place already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I could see a scenario where, all right, yeah, we'll get this
Let's
right
just
here.
take the cornerstone
Yeah.
center. Brian Schaefer, much love, my guys. My ideal situation would be to bring in Trent Brown
Shout out to
in free
Trent.
agency.
Shout out.
Draft the top corner in round 1 like Wiggins, Mitchell, or Kool-Aid,
Shout out
and
to
get
Kool-Aid.
Frazier in round 2, even if we have to trade up. Thoughts? That's
I
not
like
bad.
it. I like it. Definitely like what you cooking at, man.
We need a center, though.
You got to hit it in a second. You said Frazier in a second,
Frazier.
yeah.
I'm an idiot.
You got to hit it in a second. If
I
it
literally
works in a
just read
second,
all that and said we still need a center. No, he has Frazier going in round 2. I'm an idiot.
as long as you get the center, you're good. We just know you're playing a dangerous game at times with the draft because all it takes is for one person to pick out of order, and now this whole model, we over here looking at Cedric Van Preen or who else like come in and be our starter, and that's
Especially
a way
with
different
this
conversation,
center
man.
position being so scarce.
Yeah,
There's only 2 guys I want because
Right.
outside of them, I'm not feeling great.
yeah. I'm almost like I would low key rather be over aggressive and get Jackson in the first versus waiting to try to get Frazier in the second, and now I'm potentially without either one because of us releasing Mason. If Mason Cole was still here, it's a different conversation. I think you can kind of play this game of, all right, yo, we can skip on the first, get in the second, or one or the other. It don't kill you. But right now, it's like, what are our alternative options?
Or free agency. That's something we'll know before the draft.
Where we're not just filling the space, we're saying this is an upgrade. Because it wasn't that Mason Cole couldn't play. We're saying that his play was no longer good enough for the money. So we're wanting better play. I don't think you just finding that on the market right now without having to spend a little bit more money or without having to go trade for something. So it's gonna be good though, baby.
The only suggestion I have for his ideal situation is we gotta get a linebacker somewhere.
Now Cody Kuhn brought up maybe you go get Zach Frazier in the first. I think a scenario where if Jackson Powers is gone earlier,
maybe you trade
and you're sitting
down
at 20, you trade back, 30, 31, or even 32. It worked out well last time we drafted somebody at 32, but you trade back and you say, okay, let's go get Zach Frazier. We'll take him early in the, early for his stock. Maybe he is a higher in second round than a late first, but because of the need and because of us not getting Jackson Powers, this is the one we're going to go with. So, yeah. I like it, man.
That's it.
I like
11:31.
Man, shout out to the homie Deke, man. He got us right today. All right, see, I hit that like button one time for the culture, and do not forget to subscribe. All right, that will do it for today's show. Your boy is gone for the week again, but no vacation, no Anguilla this time. Shout out to y'all watching the vlog though. Appreciate y'all. All right, but yeah, got the combine. All right, so your boy will be out there in Indy, getting it in, doing all that official media reporting stuff for the good old black and gold. Not the blue and red, the black and gold this time. See? Shout out. All right. So that's what will be going on, man. So like I said, we'll reconvene next week when I get back in town. But y'all stay safe out there. You streaming anywhere? What you got this week, man?
I'm back this week.
I'm
back. I'm actually streaming on Bleach Report in a little bit here. 2 o'clock. Stop over.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
All right. So 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
And then the content should be back as normal.
There it is.
New setup. Like, I'm gonna have some new wrinkles, but
okay.
Like I said, I needed that week and a half off.
Nah, respect.
But I'm back. I'm motivated.
So he back in the lab. You heard Deke. He said he back cooking. If y'all want to hear my content, man, I will be live every day, Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time on Fox Sports Pittsburgh, Steelers Nation Radio. You can go to Steelers.com or wherever you get your podcast at, man. Once we're done with the live show, it uploads right there to the little podcast thing. Steelers Blitz is the name of that one, is uploaded in there as well. All right, so that's where the boy will be at. You heard where Deke will be at. Y'all stay safe out there. We'll have some content popping up throughout. Here's how we do, all right? But either way, we appreciate you. And until next time, baby.
Peace.